sheltered family. How are you? Good to see you. Good to have you join me for yet another conversation in a new episode. My name is Lenah Kendi. For anyone who is new here, and feel most welcome. You're home. If you found this channel, you came across the right place to be, because we talk about everything relationships in all aspects and how to grow in them and grow holistically and excellently in life. So yes, you're welcome. Please make sure to give us a subscription and a like, share, comment, and we hope to interact with you more and more and more and more. So you're welcome. For today's episode, we are going to be talking about healing after heartbreak. And for this, we are not necessarily going to just look at the romantic relationships, because it's easy for us to think that romantic relationships are the only relationships that can bring us heartbreaks, but not quite. Sometimes it could be even with friends, sometimes it could be with family or people that we regard so highly that they carry a lot of weight. We treat them with a lot of respect and regard them highly, like I just said. And whenever they walk away or they do things that ain't so pleasant to us, and that things that are breaking our hearts, it's easy for us not to acknowledge that and not to allow ourselves. Please pardon me. We are close to the airport, so yeah. So you realize that it's easy for us not to term ourselves and position ourselves in those kind of negative energy and spaces, and this is because we've not healed from the pain that we've gone through. And sometimes it's even comes from our system, our belief systems. What are the things that you've believed about yourself? What are the things that you've acknowledged as, this is me and I've accepted this for me? Because first off, when it comes to healing, I had notes put down for this episode. It's really wide and beautiful. So buckle up. I'll be looking at my phone a lot to view those notes. As I was saying, when it comes to healing, it has to start from the place of self-acceptance and self-worth and self-awareness. Self-acceptance, let's think about that for a minute. That you've acknowledged, okay, so this is Kendi, she's this and this, she's that and that other thing. And it's you need to question some of these things you've accepted as part of who you are. Because, like, for example, if at some point I realized I was really timid and I didn't talk as much, and for a very long time, because I was in an environment that didn't bring out the outspoken version of me and didn't enable me to speak up often about my views and my beliefs and the things that that mattered to me, people would think that she's quite timid, and people would term you as that. People would label you as that. And then over time, because you've been used to not being able to speak up, and for you to keeping you to yourself your opinions and your thoughts, it's easy for you to most of the times realize that you've accepted that as, I am a timid, quiet person, which you truly ain't. So when it comes to healing, even as you journey through healing after a thing or after a relationship or after an experience that has happened and broken your heart, and you went away with so much pain from that situation, you're supposed to go back and question a lot of these things and ask yourself, is this truly who I am? Am I truly not as an outspoken person? Or is it because I was in an environment that brought that suppressed this outspoken version of me, and that's why I have not been able to bring that out. Or is it because this is truly who I am? Secondly, self-awareness. How much are you aware of yourself and who you are? Because if you don't know who you are, if you only allow yourself to be who your environment dictates that you should be, it will be very easy for you to be swayed up and down. You'll be tossed around, because picture this: if you don't know who you are and you found yourself in a space that required you to always show up for people a certain type of way, you realize that you will keep on, for lack of a better word, camouflaging. You keep on changing into different aspects, attributes, traits, characters, and then you're confused about who exactly you are. Because if someone requires you to show up for them in a sympathetic manner, you always show up sympathetically. If someone requires you to show up and just be a worker, a doer, doing and doing and doing, you realize that you will have this relationship surrounded or thriving due to the fact that you're presenting who they want you to be, not who you are. So the aspect of going back to yourself and questioning, what are my beliefs? Who am I? Is this truly what I stand for? Is this truly what I want for myself? Because, for example, in a romantic relationship, if you're an introvert and the other person, your partner, is extroverted, realize that each one of you draws energy and basically energy to do life every single day and show up in their best versions as differently. They draw this energy differently. So when it comes to an introvert, they want to be within themselves, take some time away from people and just be alone, and then they can re-energize and recharge so that they can be able to show up back as their best versions. And that way the relationship thrives. And the extroverts, they just are all about going out, meeting people, socializing, being just outside. You realize a lot of times when one of you is not aware or is suppressed, it's easy for you to always want to be indoors, yet you're extroverted because your partner wants you to show up a certain way. They want you to love them in the way that they need you to love them. Yes, for sure. I know we need to compromise and sometimes give up some of your time so that you can spend with this other person, because they'll be like, at least this weekend, one of the evenings, stay with me, don't go out. But it don't mean that you now completely abandon yourself. And one of the points Ed put down here was, loving the other person should not be to the expense of you not being able to love yourself. And that's why you realize so many people, it's easy for you to not thrive and not heal after a breakup or after an ended relationship with somebody, because you did not know you. Because this person, they required you to almost not show up for you, and then all the time you're showing up for them. So at this point, what is happening is that you have the price of you loving the other person is you not being able to love yourself. So you realize in such instances, if you're not self-aware, if you don't know your worth, you require a lot of what they can offer for you to heal. Like I remember, uh, not very long ago, I've had an experience with somebody, and they really hurt me so bad, and I really wanted to heal from that. I prayed. I wanted to let it go. I wanted to still be able to view that person the same way. But then I realized it wasn't becoming easy for me to let go of the thing that they did towards me. And I wanted so bad for them to apologize. I was like, you should have known that you really hurt me. You should have known that that was wrong. And now that you know, can you at least do the bare minimum of saying I'm sorry? And that has quite held back my healing from that experience, because I have demanded them. I of course have no, I didn't face them and said you should apologize for this and this. Of course, the moment they did that thing, they already knew it hurt me, because we had to stay for a while without even communicating with each other. And I remember asking myself, why do I so badly want them to say sorry? Why do I so badly want them to see that what they did to me was wrong? And yet I already know it was wrong. I already felt the pain, and it was a thing that had bruised my heart. And that's the one thing I realized, this is all about self-worth and the power that we've given to the other parties who are involved in this experience of that you're trying to heal from. Because I realized I really so badly wanted that apology, but would that apology in any way make the pain any easier? No. I already felt the pain. I already cried it out. I already like withdrew and felt a lot of emotions that came with that. Of course, having regarded myself to be a very nice person, which I know I am for sure. And I thought, after everything, is this it? Like, you've got to be kidding me. After all that, is this how you felt that you needed to treat me? And when we feel so badly that we need that apology for us to be able to move past the pain, then that's when we realize. And I'm going to read a quote I came across by a lady called Nejwa Zebian. She said, when you build your home within other people, you give them the power to make you homeless. I'll read it again. When you build your home within other people, you give them the power to make you homeless. And for a minute, I had to sit with that and ask myself, how much of my worth had I placed in the hands of that person? So that when they didn't see what I wanted them to see in me, it wrecked me. When they didn't speak the words I expected them to speak to me, it broke me. It destroyed me. And you realize, in most cases, when we've been hurt by people, we really so bad want them to come back and say how sorry they are and try to make it right. But the one thing I have truly come to understand is that the very same person who broke you cannot be the person to mend you. The thing or the person that destroyed you cannot be the thing or the person that builds you. It is a complete what? Misguided expectation. Because first off, understand that this person, what they are showing you and whom they are presenting to you, it is who they are. You don't have to stay. You don't have to have conversations for you to prove that truly this is who they are. And realize in most cases, we are trying to get them to change, to adjust, to look like the thing we want, the thing or the person that we want them to be. But we've got to come to the place where we accept people and receive them as who they show us to be. If someone is disrespectful and it hurts you and you communicate that and they don't seem to get it, stop trying to change that. Stop trying to make them feel okay, to make them want to change to be who you want them to be. Allow people to be who they are. Allow people to be who they are. So whenever we so badly need the other person to come in, apologize, make it right, and yet they already showed you who they are, it's to our detriment, because I am showing you clearly who I am. Abusive, maybe toxic, maybe a narcissist, but because of how badly as human beings we want people to see who we are, we keep on drawing them and trying to have conversations and trying to be even nicer, because I realized and oh gosh, this one, I do have a story for this one. So after my second breakup with my ex, he ghosted me. So randomly he just vanishes to the thin air. He's not responding to my messages or calls, and now I realized he's pulling away. And one thing about it is that whenever people pull away, we tend to try harder. So I remember after he's ghosted me, I reached out to a friend of his and I talked to him and I told him, could you please reach out to him and tell him I'm worried and I would like to talk to him, that he should respond to me. And of course the friend tried, but that didn't work. I also, my own very friend, I told her about it because she knew that we were together at the time, and I told her to call him, and she tried and he was unreachable, and when he was reachable he didn't come back, he didn't return back the call. And I realized how much I had tried to cleave, how much I tried to make him see that I am the right person. Oh gosh, that was draining, y'all. Like, I really tried so much and so hard, and that's, the more I tried, the more he pulled away. Like, because naturally when someone is pulling away and you really want them close, what you're doing to them, it's some point it even becomes like scary, because this person is clearly showing you they don't want you. They're clearly showing you they don't want this with you, but you so bad want to show them that they need it with you or they should want you. No. So even as we heal from these heartbreaks, from these pains that people have caused us, let it stem from the place of self-acceptance and self-worth. But also be very conscious, who are you accepting? Who is the person that you are so gladly saying, this is who I am? Is it because that's truly who you are? And that takes us back to the place of questioning our beliefs about the things we've accepted and believed about ourselves. Well, now, with that in mind, the one other thing I know about healing is that we have to allow ourselves to feel the pain. And it is a sign of low self-worth And I know that doesn't quite sit well with everybody. Whenever you've gone through a hard thing and you don't allow yourself to feel the pain, it's like you gaslighting yourself and telling yourself it wasn't that bad. Take an example. If right now you and your friend are going through a thing, or maybe now your friend is going through something, and this friend of yours has been maybe heartbroken. Do you know how much you put work into seeing them recover? You will always be like, it's okay, take one day at a time. It's okay to sleep in. It's okay to take, even go out on a trip, go for a vacation for you to be able to clear your mind. Like, you really want them to take care of themselves so that they can heal. But then when it comes to your chance to take care of yourself so that you can heal, you tend to not see it. You tend to not want that for you. You tend to diminish it or make it not seem like it was so much heavy, like it was. Clearly and genuinely, let's get to the place where we love ourselves so much that it's okay for you to accept that I was hurt, I didn't deserve that, and it's okay for me to heal from that. And so you need to open up the pain within yourself. You need to open up within yourself to feel the pain that is already within. Sometimes the door that we are closing from feeling the pain that is already within ourselves, it just becomes disadvantageous to ourselves. Why? Because it is like when pain knocks at the door, or knocks on your door, and you don't open up to it, you are going to have to lead a distracted life because there is noise in your background. Picture that there's someone knocking at your door and you're working on something, maybe on your computer. If you don't go check on that, on the door to see who it is and address that matter with them, or whatever it is that they could be needing, in most cases, you will not concentrate no more on whatever it was that you are doing. And this is the same case with healing our pain. Pain is like a knock on the door. If you don't allow yourself to open up that door and feel it and question and address these issues that have caused you the pain, in most cases, you will not be able to move forward. You're holding so much of pain within yourself. You're not letting yourself feel it. You're not letting yourself address it. And that way, you realize it becomes heavy to handle. It becomes not easy to move with. It becomes like it holds you back. You're never going to be able to move forward, because just like we talked about the aspect where we so badly are asking the other person to see that they caused us pain and apologize about the pain. It's unfortunate that what if they never apologize? What if they never see that they caused you pain? What if even if you get to sit down and have a conversation, this is the person who will never acknowledge that indeed that was wrong of me to do? Will you never heal? Is it because we've given the power of who we are and who we see ourselves to be to the other person? We need to be okay to acknowledge, yes, I was hurt. Yes, this was wrong. Yes, it hurt me so bad. And because it did, the work on healing, the work on letting go, it's on me. It has nothing to do with the other person. It has nothing to do with the other person. You have to do the work. You have to let yourself heal even without receiving that apology. You have to let yourself heal even without receiving that sympathy. You have to first of all truly know, I felt the pain and it was okay for me to feel it. And I don't need the other person to acknowledge that, yes, indeed, I wronged you, for me to be able to move. Another point I'd written down is that when we see and we sense that someone is pulling away, this was a thing I'd mentioned earlier, we always tend to try harder because we are avoiding the pain of abandonment and because we believe we are worthy being held on to. You want so much people to want you. You want so much people to see your worth and how blessed they are to have you in their lives, that when they are not seeing that, and when they are pulling away, and when they are not showing up as you anticipated them to, you tend to pursue more. It's okay to let, and this is one thing about healing. You have to allow yourself to be alone. You have to allow yourself to go into your thoughts, into your mind, into your heart, into your beliefs, and see for sure that this is who I am, or this is not who I am. I have believed this about myself. I have allowed this to go on in my life. I have let this or the other thing happen in my life because it's made more sense to the other person than and it made me feel wanted. The moment we as human beings, we let ourselves be defined by the things that make people see the worth in us and not who we are, it breaks us so much when this person is no longer in the picture. Can you imagine if you are, like, I remember, I think to some extent with both of my relationships that that were broken, it ended up feeling like I was lost after my breakup with these two guys, because I spent so much time with them, like ever texting, ever on phone calls. Every slight break that I have, I'm either reaching out or they are reaching out, such that when they walked away, I didn't know who I was. I felt like my world had ended. I felt like it was no longer making sense that I would still exist. And I remember at some point, I was just showing up as a shadow of myself. It was so painful. I didn't feel, and the one thing that happened and that was so painful for me was after my ex ghosted me, I was filled with so many questions, and all that was clouding and crowding my mind and my feelings and everything was that I wasn't good enough. Because why else would he leave me? I allowed myself to see my worth through his eyes and through how he treated me and through how I felt like he wanted me to show up. And when he didn't show up that way, I was broken. I was lost. And I felt abandoned. I felt unaware of who I was no more. And I remember after a while discovering that, oh my God, I have tied a lot of my self-worth to the people around me. And it's about time I took back the power. I remember a guy approaching me afterwards, and one of my love languages is gifts. And he gifted me a dress. And I knew that guy really was into me. He gifted me a dress, and I was like, oh wow, he understands my love language. But then I had to catch myself very quickly. And ask myself, if I was to get with this person, to be with them, was it because it was the best decision for me? Was it because it was what I really wanted for me? Or was it because of whom and what they made me feel about myself? Because clearly it makes a lot of sense for someone to be attracted to somebody who gets their love language, because you're like, oh my gosh, they get me. But beyond them getting you in that one aspect, do they get you as who you are as a person? Do you get them as who they are as a person? So as a parting shot, I know this didn't sound like anything to do with healing, but I think it's everything that you need to understand. And we all need to embrace, even as we journey towards healing, is that we should stop trying to change the end. The storyline is what you need to change, and that is in your power. That is in your power. How many times do we settle with people or in relationships and in just basically relationships that we felt they were right because we were trying to change the end of what we would see, instead of trying to see what does the storyline look like here. How am I made to feel? Do I feel wanted only when I show up a certain way? Do I feel acknowledged and seen only when I do things a certain way? Or I am seen, acknowledged, wanted, and valued when I don't do the things that make this person feel appreciated or seen? Like, get to the point where you truly acknowledge that. And even as you heal from a thing or from a pain that has been eating you up, and as you walk the journey of rediscovering who truly you are, it's okay, completely okay, for you to know that it will not be comfortable. First of all, it's because we as human beings, we are not accustomed to change. Change makes us very uncomfortable. Change makes us feel like this is so scary. And for you to overcome that fear and look beyond what you used to, because of course, after a thing ends, you need to do the introspection and ask yourself, do I truly love the person I was? Do I truly admire to show up as that same person, even in the next relationship, even in my endeavors from now onwards? And true to the whole issue is that, first off, it will be very uncomfortable to heal, because with that you have to question a lot of your belief systems, a lot of the things that you've experienced or not experienced. You have to question a lot. And as you accept the journey of, I am trying to change and see me for who I am, it will come with a lot of change. And change is not comfortable. Change is not linear. Change is not sweet. Change is not admirable. At the end, when you've changed the storyline, that's when the end goal or the fruit can change. So just accept that you know who you are and heal from it, with or without that apology, with or without this person seeing that you are as precious. And it hurts when people don't see value in you, but it's okay, because they don't know you like you know you. So even as you heal, find your worth outside of what people termed you to be. Beyond people saying you're a great sister, do you see yourself? Because do you want to ask yourself that what if they say I'm no longer a great sister? How will I feel about myself? What if maybe it's your parent and they don't see that you're an amazing child that they have brought up? Are you still going to view yourself the same way, or it's going to break you and ruin you? So begin with self-acceptance, self-awareness, and self-worth. Take back your power. If you had given your power, if you had built your home in the hands of somebody, within somebody, when they leave you're going to be homeless, then understand that if you could build it once in them and with them, you can do it again, once again, with yourself and in yourself. So you have the power, you have the capability. Just see your worth beyond what people see in you, beyond the things people have termed you to be. Please do engage with me in the comment section and let me know what are your thoughts in regards to healing and letting go of pain and going on a journey of self-worth, self-rediscovery, and changing the storyline so that the fruits will be different. And with that, I'll see you next time in the next episode. I love you all so much. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Love you. Goodbye.